Hi, it's Oplin Recruiting here, and in this video, I'll be showing you exactly how to write an effective job ad in 2026. If you're a practice owner, you likely have little to no knowledge on how to write compelling job ads. But can I blame you? You are a practice owner, not a copywriter. But in today's video, I'll be showing you exactly how to write the best job ad in 2026 so you can find more candidates without investing hours into becoming a copywriter yourself. And in the end of the video, I'll show you the exact job ad that I personally made to help my client finally hire for their practice. But before we get into it, if you're not aware of who I am, my name is Oliver Martin, and I'm a recruiter who helps practice owners hire PTs, OTs, and SLPs. My number one goal is to provide real human-like value that actually works and escape the corporate recruiter realm. Now, that is a quick intro. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me get into it. Now, let me present you my top 4 proven secret strategies that I've been using to help my clients hire at their practices. Now, strategy number 1 is keeping the job ad under 600 words in correct formatting. Now, this is pretty self-explanatory, but job seekers out there, they like to skim. This means don't have a page of a non-fictional book as your job ad. You need to keep the lines nice and neatly formatted, where you'd have 3 sentences max in between lines, keeping it no more than 3 sentences for every time you space out lines, right? It needs to be easily digestible, easily readable, and skimmable, with nice bolded words that are preferably highlighting your best perks, as well as keeping the lines short and keeping the overall job ad length under 600 words so it can be skimmed and nicely, neatly digested by job seekers out there so they can quickly determine whether your company, your clinic, your practice would be a good fit for them or not. Now for the second secret strategy, you need to highlight your best perks, your unique perks, and be transparent. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, if your practice can offer a pretty hefty compensation with some good benefits that align with the market in your area, then it's time you promote this. This means on your social media posts, your job boards, your job ads, your website, your careers page, in your outreach, your emails, everywhere. You need to promote your perks. These include the compensation, the benefits perks, as well as unique perks specific for your clinic, your area, your practice, your company, right? This could be, let's say you're located in Colorado. This could be, we are near the Great Mountains or the Rockies. Excuse me if that's incorrect, but yeah, that's just an example, but you want to really promote as many, of the key perks as possible and the unique perks specific for your practice, your location, your team, your story. Those are other great perks you want to have on top of that. Now, I'm going to quickly emphasize on this before we move on to the third strategy, but you need to ensure that you are transparent with your compensation. No clinician, no PT, OT, or SLP who's job seeking wants to be lied to or told BS. This means giving the real compensation, highlighting what your compensation range is from the get-go on the job ad, rather than, keeping it kind of brief and vague and, the whole depends on experience, that kind of stuff. No, we want to keep this very, very summarized, very transparent, give them the full clarity that they deserve so that they can ultimately decide whether you should, be a potential clinic they apply for or not. Now, strategy number 3, keeping it very strict with who you let apply, right? Obviously, you have no control over who applies, how many people apply, but what you do have control over is the filtering process around those who think they should be qualified to apply for your job and the ones who don't think this. Now, this is how you do it. You need to, in your copy, in your job ad, in the writing, in the script, in the copy, you need to really highlight your perks, what you're going to offer to them, as well as your company story, your values, your traits, all that stuff that clinicians ultimately align with. You need to be very clear with what it is from the get-go. You need to have full transparency so they ultimately know whether this is a place that's worth applying for them or not. But as well as that, I highly recommend at the bottom of your job ad, where it'd be most visible before they can have the option to apply, having a little area that states, do not apply if you, and then you would fill in what, your non-negotiables are, or traits or values or skills that you guys have that are really important for your practice that you do need in your ideal clinician. And then you just put that there. So for example, let's say you really value responsibility, honesty, and teamwork. And if this is a really big, crucial thing for your practice, then you can put at the bottom, we do not accept any applicants, or please do not apply if you do not have responsibility or you're not specifically a team player. Let's say you're more independent, please don't apply. And you can use stuff like that. It works really well. So I would say you want to clearly display in the job ad what your clinic is all about, what you're offering, as well as having a little message at the bottom near apply where they have the full clarity and transparency of whether they should apply or not. Now for strategy number 4, and arguably the most important one on our list today, is keeping your company story brief. And you might not want to hear this because, every company has unique, storylines of how they became who they are, specifically with practices and, clinics out there. Every clinic has their own unique story, their own unique beginning, and how they really came to be who they are. But the truth is, they don't care. In this 2026 generation, the job seekers don't really care. They only care about what they will get in return, and this is tangible stuff. So this could be money, this could be obviously the compensation, as well as like loan repayments or tax returns, like, help with their taxes, insurance, stuff like that. That is all they care about, right? Obviously, they care about their patients. They're very empathetic. Clinicians, they are awesome what they do, and they show it to their, both their employers, their co-staff, as well as their patients. But when it comes to finding jobs and what appeals to clinicians, about 90% of it is what you are going to offer to them, because that is what you are doing. You're selling the opportunity to other clinicians in the area as if you would to your patients. Now, it is very important that you keep it brief about your company story, because clinicians, job seekers that are skimming through, they don't care if you're in the Rockies. They don't care if you're by the beach. They only care about how much you're going to be offering them in digits, as well as the benefits, the perks, and compensation. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, this is the job ad that I personally made for one of our clients over at Oplin to help them hire. It got them around 31 applicants in the first few weeks, all qualified candidates out there that really moved on to the screening. And then about 2/3 of them, 1/3 of them moved on to the interviews and the skills assessments. So it is safe to say that this is a proven template, I would say, but in general, this is just a proven job ad that we use to help one of our clients over at Oplin hire. So for some clarity, this was not their exact job ad in the sense of displaying their links and stuff, but this is what we did construct for them, with some of the personal information removed for their sake of privacy, right? So I'll read it. So at Mountain Physical Therapy, they believe clinicians do the work in focused one-on-one sessions. That's why they never overlap patients, providing calm, efficient, and stress-free environment where you can deliver premium care while never having to take your work home, right? So the first line is designed to really cater to the pain points and desires that clinicians really face, right? So we introduce the company, the clinic, the practice, and then we basically highlight how it tackles their pain points and the solution it offers, right? Now, we also provide some of the benefits that are offered and the story, right? So we kept it pretty brief. I mean, this is the ideal candidate that we have here. As I discussed before, you want to ensure that these were the non-negotiables that they had. So they really valued outgoing kind of clinicians. They want them to be friendly, just great kind of clinicians who are inviting, outgoing, and really talkative and just happy to be there, right? So this is a story, this was the story, as well as some of the information that they're looking for in their ideal clinician, as well as the career paths that they offer and how the onboarding works with the compensation, the benefits, the scheduling, the longevity, some of the non-negotiables here. Of course, some of the experience, you obviously got to be licensed and legally authorized to work in the country, as well as the responsibilities that they are looking for. So if they had any, real true key values, traits, skills that they're looking for, It would be highlighted here, as well as the top where they could display who should be applying or not, right? So they also have very, very transparent of what they can offer. So they don't offer unlimited PTO, they don't offer relocation assistance, and they don't offer student loan repayment. And that's fine because this is actually a psychological tactic. Now, you might be wondering, but this actually makes sense. And this is one of the key things that actually worked, because these are actually perks that about maybe 5%, not even 3% of practices out there can even offer. So highlighting and stating perks that are obvious that you can't hire or very unlikely you could offer actually make you come across as more inviting and trustworthy. So I think more candidates really saw that, and they really wanted to take on what the company was all about. They're full transparent up front, and then you finish off with a nice closing line again with the perks, and yeah, their desired outcome, right? So this is the job ad. Now, if you want to take any photos here or screenshots, this is what it looks like. This is the template we have here. We try to keep them as short as possible, as well as delivering as much information as you need as a job seeker, to actually see. You can also see we have many links here. So yeah, it is awesome. Now that is the job ad. Now, promises were made, promises were kept. I hope you have a great day. I really enjoyed making this video for you. I really hope that you get some value here today of how to make properly good, effective job ads in the future. There is a funnel down below. I'm going to try and sell you something in the description. We do help practices hire PTs in 60 days or they don't pay, PTs, OTs, or SLPs. We handle the whole process on your behalf with a 60-day for your placement guarantee in case they leave. We've never had to do that. We have it in there for security purposes only. Just show how confident we are that we could deliver for you, right? Now, this will obviously give you the time, freedom, location, revenue that you're looking for, all that good stuff that a practice owner like yourself needs or wants. I would say needs as well, right? I mean, you do quite deserve it, but yeah, so I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Like, subscribe, comment down below, all that good stuff, and yeah, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day.